All right, boys, today we are going to be doing an oil change on this 2019 Honda Insight. So first things first, let's get all our supplies lined out. Here's the book. This kind of helps out with knowing how much oil to put in and what kind. Here's our oil. Thing holds 3.5 quarts, including the filter, 0W-20 oil filter, paper towels, 17mm wrench for the drain plug, an oil filter wrench, an oil container, whatever you call that thing, oil funnel, some chalk blocks so the car won't roll, jack stands, creeper, and some ramps. So first off, in the book, if you look up maintenance, which is down here in the bottom in the back, and then you look up engine oil, it takes you to page 121. Turn it to 121. It shows you just how much oil you need to add for this thing, and it tells you what kind. Premium grade 0W-20 detergent oil with an API certification seal on the container. There's the certification seal, at least as far as I know. I don't think you're going to find oil that isn't certified unless you get oil from Dollar Tree, but don't quote me on that. It doesn't have to be motor oil from Honda either. Somewhere in here it tells you how much oil you're supposed to put in the car. Never mind, it actually doesn't. We've wasted too much time here. The book only shows you what kind of oil to use. They don't want people changing the oil themselves. They want people going to the dealer. I would rather just do it myself as peace of mind. Alright, so what's the first thing we're going to do? Let's just drive it up on these ramps, boys. The incline is too steep. See right there, it's hitting the bumper. So what I do for that, get you a 2x4 and kind of put it up on the ramp a little bit, like that. Do the same for the other side. Now we can drive it up on there. Hopefully it's not going to hit. Whoops. Come on, baby. There we go. There's a damn e-brake on this thing. Is there no e-brake? Okay, I was sitting here looking for a parking brake over here. It's right here. All you gotta do is just pull up on it. And then when you're done, push down. You can actually hear it back there. So anyway, let's pull up on it. Kaboom. Car's in park, let's turn it off. Now we need to chalk the wheels. There's one. That's good. And of course my jack stands are too tall. These points right here are where you would put the jack stands if you were to use them. These ramps, they're supposed to hold up the weight just fine, but I just don't trust them for some reason. I'm paranoid. I had a car follow me one time, true story. I asked my mom about that. So we're just gonna build up these 4x4 blocks like a Jenga tower, boys. All right, so we got these blocks underneath it. Looks good to me. Let's do it the same on the other side and then we can get started on this. All right, let's go ahead and pop the hood. If you don't know, on this car, there's a little, right there, there's a little lever. You just push it over and then you pull up on the hood. It's right there. And then you just grab this lever, put it right there. Well, my audio cut out on this, but in this clip I'm just taking loose the oil cap and just leave it sitting on there. That way bugs and crap don't get down in the motor. You're just taking it loose so the motor can breathe and the oil will come out at a faster pace. All right, let's crawl underneath the car. Unfortunately, I can't use my creeper because there's such limited space under here that if I'm rolling around with a creeper, I got no room. So a piece of cardboard will just have to suffice. So we got to take off this skid plate right here. And unfortunately, some idiot that had this car before me stripped out or completely lost or forgot to put back in the screws. You got two screws right here up in the front. They're Phillips head screws. There's supposed to be one there. This one's missing. Then on the side here, you're supposed to have two. You're supposed to have one back there, one right here. You're supposed to have one over here. You're supposed to have one back there. They're all missing. Some moron got a hold of this and screwed everything up. We're going to take this screw off and see if we can find one similar to it and put it right here, and maybe a couple over here. So let's go ahead and get the screw out. Okay, now we can go ahead and pull off this cover. Should just slide back. Should. I'm missing something. I probably am. Nope, we got one more there in the back. Two more. These are flathead screws. Go ahead and pull these out. The heck? These things are in there. This ain't good. Okay. These just pop out. And that's great. Some cheapo stuff here. Okay, so with these you gotta turn them 90 degrees to the left and then they'll pop out. And then when you put them back in, you stick it back in, you turn it 90 degrees to the right. Okay, now we can go ahead and pull this off. There it is. Pretty easy. Sort of. Okay, I'm gonna have to make a special trip to Honda because all the screws that are missing, at least most of them, it's these style. And these style go into these kind of holes right here. Like I was saying a while ago, you put it up in there and you turn it 90 degrees and it locks it into place. So we're missing one here, we're missing one here, and we're missing two over here. And then plus we're also missing one of these. So we're gonna have to go up to Honda because nobody's gonna carry this crap, obviously. But in the meantime, let's get this oil changed. You can see right there, it says engine oil. There's the drain plug. Here's the oil filter. And here's a trick I learned. I do this on my semi truck. Loosen up this filter just a little bit to where it's not leaking yet. Go ahead and punch a hole in the bottom of that, let all the oil drain out. Then you can pull it off and it won't be quite as messy. This is the only oil filter wrench I got. This is for a semi truck really, but let's see if it'll even work on this. I don't know. It does. Nice. We'll get her loosened up. Okay, it's not leaking yet, but that's loose enough to where I could get it the rest of the way off with my hand. Now let's go ahead and punch a hole in the bottom of this. There it is. Now we'll just let that drain. All right, well that was pretty quick. About 2 minutes it was all drained out. We got a little more. Now that we got some air to it. While we're doing that, let's see if we can go ahead and get this off. It's a 17 millimeter. Now remember guys, we're working on it from the back side. So you want to go the way you're facing it, you want to go clockwise. That way it loosens it up. If you were facing it the other way, obviously you would go counterclockwise. I'm trying to get this right because some people get confused by what I'm saying. Go ahead and hit it this way. It's going to loosen it up. That was pretty easy. Let's go ahead and pull that off. Now I got this motor warm, so you know, you might want to use gloves or something. You know what, before we do that, let's go ahead and get the oil filter off, just so we can move that pan back a little more, because it's probably going to spurt out pretty far. And there's that. Now let's go ahead and just bust this off. I just let it fall into the pan. That's a long-winded bolt. There it is. Whenever the motor's hot, a lot of the sediment falls out a lot better. You get a lot of that sludge and crap, at least from what I've been told. Who knows, you know? We all just do things by what we've been told. Who knows how much of it's true. Anyway, let's get this thing put back in, this drain plug. It doesn't take long to drain it all out. Actually, let's put the filter in first. When you put this filter back on, just kind of lube up the ring a little bit. Stick it back on here and just hand tighten, boys. Hand tighten. You don't have to get it that freaking real tight. See, it's going to stop right there. Now we'll just kind of turn it with one hand, not two. Not as tight as you can get to, because I can keep on turning this thing I can keep on turning it quite a bit. Just snug. It's kind of hard to explain unless you're there. You don't want to smash that ring too much, then you're going to break your seal. Put this bolt back on, turn it until it stops with your fingers, and then turn it about a quarter of another turn. That's all. Not even a quarter, actually. Just snug. You don't want to keep cranking on it. It doesn't take a whole lot. Okay, I'll put that cover pan back on later, but obviously it goes on the reverse of how it came off, so pretty simple. You can see right here, guys, with this cap, it shows you right there, SAE 0W-20. So that's what I got right here, 0W-20. I like to use a funnel that has a screen in it. You can see this one's got a screen, that way it keeps bugs and crap from flying down into your engine. And it says 3.5 with the filter. I think it was like 3.2 or something without. I don't know why you would be doing the oil change without changing the oil filter, but so anyway, let's go ahead and do 3, and then we'll add another half. 1. And you want to make sure with this oil you look at each one of them when you put them in, because sometimes at the auto parts store they get them mixed up, and maybe like a 5W30 might be mixed in with the 0W-20. So just make sure on each one of them that you're looking at what kind of oil it is. 2, 3. All right, 4th one. So we're looking at 946 milliliters, 1 US quart. So what's half of that? About 475, right? So you can see right here on the bottle it shows you 400, 600. So right in between is 500. So we're going to go right underneath that. That line right there actually is probably about right for halfway. Get off of there, stupid cap. Okay. Close. Almost there. It's pretty good. You can see on there. Hold it level. We're about right there at that mark. We'll start the motor up and we'll let it idle for about 5 minutes, and then we'll kill it, and then we'll let it set for about 10-15 minutes. We'll check the motor oil on level ground. That's important. This driveway is not level, so we'll have to take it out in the street or something. Oh, and a little tip with these funnels, you know, you can just let the motor oil kind of sift down in there for a little bit. That way when you pick it up, it's not going to make a mess. But you can also put paper towel around it like this to kind of catch that motor oil when you pull it off of there. The cap back on. Good to go. Okay, we'll drive it off the ramps whenever we get that pan back on, but for now, for the sake of time and the video, let's go ahead and get this thing reset, the oil life. And this is the first time I've done this, so let's go ahead and turn the car on. You can see right there it shows maintenance due soon, A17. Okay guys, I had to do some digging. Okay, oil life 10%, A17. Go ahead and press this button here. Takes you to this screen. Maintenance reset, A17. Let's go ahead and scroll through. It says, I don't know what all this other stuff is, to be honest, guys. Item 7, item 5, item 4, item 3, item 2, item 1, item A. That's the oil change. So we're going to reset that one. Hold this button down. Reset completed. Oil life 100%. You can see right there. B17. Alright guys, so I looked up online those maintenance codes and I found it on this website here for Werkel, Honda, however you say that. And I'll just go over some of it. It says right here, the system monitors engine operating conditions to determine when your car needs an oil change or regular maintenance. There are main item codes A and B. So remember, mine was A when I changed it, and then I reset it and it went to B. And then you have your sub-item codes 1 through 7. Some vehicles have fewer sub-item codes. Alright, so A, which is what I had, is replace just your engine oil. I guess no filter. I'm not going to do that. I've never done that, but that's what Honda recommends, I guess. And then B says replace your engine oil filter and inspect various parts of your car. Rear brakes, tie rod ends, steering gearbox, and gearbox boots, suspension. So A is just the oil, B is the oil and filter, and a few little components. And then you got also all that stuff right there. And then you got sub items. You got sub item 1, which is rotate your tires, follow the pattern shown in your owner's manual. Sub item 2, air cleaner. Of course, you're going to replace it more often if you're in dusty conditions. Sub item 3, replace your transmission fluid, transfer fluid. That would be for 4-wheel drive. Of course, if you're in mountains and stuff, you're going to do it more often. Replace your spark plugs. Inspector valve clearance, that's for sub item 4. Sub item 5 is your antifreeze. And then 6, differential fluid. That's with all-wheel drive, which I don't have. 7, replace your brake fluid. Make sure the brake fluid is level. Yeah, okay, so that's what all that is. And one more thing before I go. This oil, I like to put mine in a big 5-gallon bucket. Just let it drain like that. And then whenever that bucket's maybe 2/3 of the way full, just take it up to O'Reilly's or AutoZone. They'll dump it out for free. Don't go to Napa, they charge you. Alright boys, I guess that's it for this oil change on this Honda Insight. And I believe your models 2019 to 2022 are the same. If you got any of those year models, this applies to your car as well. Anyway guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, do all them things. That helps out the channel. And hey, if you do all those things, what can I promise you? Oh, just found a quarter. You'll find a quarter if you subscribe to my channel. It's not a bad deal, right guys? It's pretty good. All right, we'll see you on the next one. It'll probably be semi-truck related.